Yo, rankers! Imagine getting isekai to 32 only to realize your only special skill is having a literal heart attack from pure terror. Meet Tanaka, our zero to hero MC who's convinced he's the weakest F-rank trash in history. But guys, the truth is the most broken misunderstanding you ever seen. Panting, sweating, and on the verge of collapse, he realizes the beast is closing in fast. With his back against the wall, he prepares to face the legendary king of beasts, the guardian of hell, Cerberus. But wait, the terrifying monster is actually just an adorable tiny puppy. His name is Tanaka, a 32-year-old summoned to another world, and he's currently losing his mind over this misunderstanding. "My sides hurt," he wheezes, completely doubled over in laughter at the sheer absurdity of his own fear. He admits he's seen plenty of old guys get summoned lately, but this is a whole new level of ridiculous. The reason for his summoning is a long story, but for now, Tanaka is just trying to catch his breath after the ultimate false alarm. But first, let's take a dive into Tanaka's actual grand adventure in this new world. Deep within the town of Azama, our protagonist is trying to blend in with the local fantasy crowd. He bursts into the Adventurers Guild with a massive grin, shouting that he's finally got some loot to sell. The guild receptionist, Jody, can only stare in disbelief as she sees the same low-level trash once again. "Sorry," Tanaka laughs awkwardly, admitting these weaklings are literally the only things he can actually defeat. Let's be real, Tanaka knows he's weak and timid, especially since he's hunting black-horned rabbits that even kids could beat. Suddenly, a magic tool springs to life, shocking Jody since the guild's atmospheric mana devices have been broken for a month. While the receptionist complains about the manual labor of processing common rabbit drops, Tanaka can only offer a sheepish apology. But his eyes light up as he receives the cold hard cash for his 10 kills. This is the life of a real monster hunter. Skipping through the streets, Tanaka couldn't be happier. He might be the weakest ranker alive, but he's finally living the isekai dream.
Clutching his hard-earned coin, Tanaka's heart races with the primal thrill of every man's dream, monster extermination, swords, and the promise of magic. Determined to prove he's more than just a background character, he arrives at a dusty second-hand magic shop, a treasure trove of enchanted relics and ancient grimoires. His heart hammers against his ribs, thump, thump, as he stands before the entrance, barely able to believe he's actually going through with it. Stepping inside, he's greeted with a chaotic wonderland of mystical artifacts, glowing crystals, and jars containing things that definitely shouldn't be in jars. Wide-eyed and breathless, Tanaka can't help but gawk at the astronomical wonders and enchanted mirrors, his inner geek absolutely losing it over the sheer mana in the air. "Need something?" a voice rasps, nearly sending Tanaka out of his skin as he shouts a desperate yes to the shop's unimpressed pipe-smoking matron. Stuttering with excitement, he manages to choke out his request. He's here for a grimoire, a gateway to the power he's always craved. The shopkeeper keeps it real, handing over a 10th-rank grimoire, warning him that testing his new firepower inside the shop is strictly forbidden. Behold, the 10th-rank grimoire, a beginner's guide to minor convenience magic that marks the official start of his journey as a mage. With a face redder than a health potion and a grin that could light up a dungeon, he clutches the book to his chest, screaming internally, "I actually bought it! I'll be able to use magic with this!" Tanaka shouts, practically telepathing his excitement as he storms back to the inn, ready to memorize every single word. The innkeeper can barely get a greeting out before Tanaka demands his usual room, his energy levels hitting a record high for a common ranker. With a quick "later," he sprints up the stairs, leaving the bewildered staff in the dust as he chases his destiny. Huddled under a blanket by lamplight, he devours the text, his face flushing as he realizes some parts of mana manipulation are way different and way more exciting than he imagined. The narrator confirms the truth. Tanaka spent the entire night obsessed, finding the thrill of a new grimoire even more intoxicating than an illicit novel. The next day dawns, and the grind doesn't stop for our aspiring mage. He finds a secluded spot in the forest, confident that out here no one will get mad when he finally unleashes his latent power. Coo, he chuckles darkly, his finger tracing the runes for ignition, the spark that will change everything. He strikes a dramatic pose, screaming for the blue flame to destroy everything, even though it's just basic cooking magic for commoners. "Appear and pierce the heavens," he bellows, fully leaning into the cringe with unnecessary chants and poses, because that's just how Tanaka rolls. "Ignition!" he screams, but instead of a tiny spark, a colossal pillar of fire erupts, incinerating everything in its path. The forest is instantly transformed into a hellscape, and Tanaka can only stand there frozen, his jaw hitting the floor as the heat waves hit his face. "Crap! Oh crap!" he panics, realizing his beginner magic just started a massive forest fire that's rapidly spiraling out of control. Desperate, he frantically flips through his grimoire, searching for anything that can stop the inferno he just created. "Found it!" he gasps, spotting a spell for water creation, even though the book lists it as a simple utility for drinking. He points his finger and bellows for water, his face twisted in a mix of terror and desperate hope as the flames roar behind him. Suddenly, the sky itself seems to rupture as a massive world-ending deluge of water begins to form above the trees. A literal ocean falls from the heavens, a splash so violent it completely dwarfs the forest fire in a display of overwhelming magical power. The aftermath is total chaos. Tanaka is swept away by his own tidal wave, screaming as the forest is replaced by a raging, unstoppable river. By causes unknown, the entire forest simply disappeared, replaced by a rising tide that left the local authorities in a state of absolute panic. Shaking and drenched, Tanaka realizes the terrifying truth. Magic isn't a toy, it's a weapon of mass destruction that genuinely scares him to his core. Wringing out his clothes by a lake, he wonders how the locals control this raw magic so perfectly when his convenience spells just reshaped the geography. But a fire ignites in his eyes. If men get stronger through training, then Tanaka will become a man among men, no matter what it takes. To master this overwhelming mana, he exiles himself deep into the desolate mountains, far from civilization, where his mistakes won't leave witnesses. Day after day, he bellows ignition, desperately trying to suppress the explosion until his power finally feels like something a normal human can handle. He pours every ounce of his soul into the grind, alternating between fire and water, all for the sake of surviving in this unforgiving new world. 1 month passes. The lush forest is gone, replaced by a barren, rocky wasteland that bears the scars of his relentless magical awakening.
The isolation finally breaks him as he screams at the top of his lungs, his modern Japanese soul crying out for the comforts of home and a break from the grind. Even the narrator has to admit it, he did his best, but this middle-aged salaryman has officially hit his mental and physical limit. After a quick magical shave, he regains his confidence, declaring that while he's still a beginner, he's at least evolved into a super baby of the magical world. For the grand finale of my training, let's see what happens when I let go of all control, Tanaka shouts, pointing to the heavens. Ignition! A blinding pillar of pure mana tears through the atmosphere, a catastrophic surge of energy so powerful it can be seen from the edge of the world.
In the nearby Morty village, the night sky is obliterated by a pillar of light as the mountain itself seems to erupt in a divine fury. The villagers are paralyzed with terror, their eyes wide as they beg their leader to explain the celestial disaster unfolding before them. What happened? They scream, convinced that only the elder could possibly understand such a terrifying phenomenon. The elder stands frozen, sweat pouring down his face as he realizes the sheer scale of the power that just leveled the peak. It's the god of the mountain, he bellows, his voice cracking with desperation as he orders everyone to start praying for their lives. Under the blinding glow of Tanaka's training, the village is bathed in light, a scene of total awe and absolute panic. The elder sighs in relief, realizing his half-assed lie actually worked, while the villagers fall to their knees in worship of a god that is actually just a salaryman with zero self-control. Unaware that he's just been branded a literal deity by the locals, Tanaka stands sweating under the glow of his own overkill magic. He wipes his brow with a cheeky grin, feeling absolutely top tier and physically unstoppable after his explosive workout session. But instead of checking the damage, he decides to turn a blind eye to the chaos and heads back for a warm meal and a fluffy bed. Waha! He cheers, skipping away from the devastation. This old guy is officially having the time of his life in this new world. But check out these broken stats. Tanaka is sitting on god-tier power levels and a mysterious new title, Receiver of Faith. He might only be rank E, but with mana and endurance reaching into the trillions, the significance of these numbers is about to change everything.
This is the man called Tanaka, and he's currently losing his mind because he just got slapped with a high-stakes escort mission. The guild receptionist, Jari, drops the bomb. A wealthy trader is being hunted by a ruthless band of thieves right now. Tanaka tries to play it cool and suggests sending someone actually strong, but Jari shuts him down. The heavy hitters are all busy hunting demons. She literally pokes him into submission, reminding him that as a guild member, this request is actually a forced participation order. Tanaka's soul is basically leaving his body as he realizes his peaceful life of several months is officially over. Wait, back up. How did we get here? Tanaka was just a normal guy who found himself in this fantasy world without any explanation. At first, he actually thought he was on a hidden camera prank show, looking around for the producers to end the joke. Then he meets this legendary-looking powerhouse who recognizes him instantly, asking the forbidden question. You came from another world, correct? Suddenly, Tanaka is face-to-face with an absolute unit of a warrior, clad in massive dragon-like armor that screams final boss energy. But instead of a fight, the old man offers a chillingly kind smile, claiming he knows exactly what Tanaka is going through and promising him safety, for now. Back in the present, Tanaka is shaking like a leaf, his teacup rattling against the saucer as the intimidating old man looms over him with a single, terrifying question. Do you understand your current situation? Pure terror washes over Tanaka as he realizes he's way out of his depth, stammering that he has absolutely no idea what's happening and begging for any information that will keep him alive. The old man finally drops the act, revealing he's actually White, a legendary and highly distinguished general of the Purine Kingdom, leaving Tanaka completely starstruck by his sheer cool energy. Despite his high status, the general just laughs it off with a friendly grin, telling the young man to just call him Gramps before asking for his name. Trying to match the general's energy, our protagonist strikes a pose and proudly introduces himself as Tanaka Taro, though he clarifies that, provisional, is legally part of his real name. The general is totally unimpressed by the weird name, casually sipping his tea while insisting on just calling him Tanaka, much to the boy's annoyance. Tanaka tries to argue for his full complicated title, but Gramps shuts him down instantly, claiming it's a nightmare to pronounce and that Tanaka just fits his average face perfectly. Defeated and dejected, Tanaka accepts his fate as the representative of every Tanaka in the world, while Gramps pivot back to the serious business at hand. The general drops a bombshell. His theory is that Tanaka didn't just wander here, he was actually brought to this world through a legendary hero summoning. Tanaka's jaw hits the floor in pure shock, screaming in disbelief, but the old general just keeps it cool, confirming that it's exactly as crazy as it sounds.
The general explains that the kingdom is in total turmoil, forced to perform a forbidden ritual to summon heroes from another world just to survive. He reveals that a summoning ceremony actually took place recently, and while a hero was successfully brought forth, things didn't exactly go as planned. As the country descends further into chaos, Tanaka can only sit there with a blank stare, processing the weight of this world-ending news. Confused, Tanaka points to himself and asks the obvious question: if there's a hero, then what the hell am I doing here? Gramps delivers a brutal reality check, telling him he's definitely not the hero because he doesn't look or act remotely like one. The general adds salt to the wound, mentioning that the actual summoned hero is an extraordinary young man, leaving Tanaka feeling completely insignificant. The truth finally comes out. Tanaka was just collateral damage, dragged into this world as a side effect of a forced summoning gone wrong. Flashbacks hit Tanaka hard as he remembers checking on a glowing high school student before a literal hole opened in the ground and swallowed him whole. Clinging to his last shred of dignity, Tanaka shouts that there has to be a chance he's a hero too, showing he hasn't outgrown his main character syndrome just yet. Gramps just sighs at the boy's desperation, but decides it's time to finally confirm the truth once and for all. RMC learns the golden rule of this new world: everyone has a status they can confirm at will. Skeptical, he asks if a foreigner, or rather an otherworldler like him, can actually do it. The old man confirms it with a smirk. The fact they're even speaking is proof enough he's part of the system now. The old man explains it's the divine protection of the creator god. To see his stats, he just needs to focus his mind and think about seeing them. The MC gets a bit too hyped, climbing onto the furniture. "Whoa, I can see something," he shouts, while the old man just deadpans, "Get down off the chair." Suddenly, the MC goes full tune your boy. He strikes a pose, shouting about knowledge of the darkness sealed by me. It's pure cringe, and he knows it. He just wanted to say it once because it looks cool. First up, the name. It officially registers as Tanaka. Apparently, since the old man called him that and he accepted it, the creator god made it permanent. Goodbye, Taro Provisional. But when he moves to his endurance and magic power, things get weird. He starts yelling at their garbled characters written where the numbers should be. The old man notices something is off. There's a strange something hidden behind the numbers. He tells Tanaka just to give him the approximate value. Tanaka pauses, a look of recognition crossing his face. I get the feeling I've seen something like this before," he mutters, while the old man starts getting impatient. Finally, he drops the bombshell stats with a peace sign. 1 for strength, dexterity, and spirit, and a whopping 2 for endurance and magic. The old man's reaction, a confused, "Eh?" The truth hits like a truck. Tanaka's stats are so low, the old man can barely believe it. 2? That's the average for a baby, he scoffs, noting that all the other numbers are equally pathetic. Tanaka can only let out a shocked, "Eh? What?" The veteran doesn't sugarcoat it. He points a finger and delivers the brutal honesty. "Let me be clear. You'll instantly die with only 1 hit." Tanaka's face goes completely pale as the reality of his level 1 existence sinks in. The heavy silence in the room says it all. The old man looks Tanaka dead in the eye and confirms the heartbreaking truth. You aren't a hero." Tanaka slumps, admitting he figured as much. Cue the existential crisis. Tanaka loses it, screaming at the ceiling while lightning strikes in the background of his mind. What the hell? Why am I the only useless one? He's sobbing. A new era is beginning for everyone else, except him. He's officially broken. Tanaka collapses face down on the sofa in total despair. "I see. Even in this new world, I'm useless," he mutters to himself. The old man waits for the crying to stop before shifting gears. "Well, why don't we discuss what you are going to do from now on?" Tanaka looks up, eyes still watery, wondering what could possibly be left to discuss. The veteran's gaze becomes sharp and serious. He gives a simple, firm yes. This isn't just a chat anymore. It's a matter of survival. Tanaka jumps up, pointing a finger in protest. "At very least, they should protect me. It's the country's fault that I'm in this world in the first place." But the old man shuts him down instantly. "That won't be possible. The politics of this world are terrifying." The old man explains the country cares way too much about appearances. If a baby-level hero leaked to the public, they'd be a laughingstock. The most likely outcome?
They'll deal with the issue, meaning Tanaka before anyone finds out. The options are non-existent. Living in hiding is impossible because Tanaka looks way too much like an otherworldler and stands out. Tanaka realizes his only move. So that means my only option is to leave the country, is it? The old man simply confirms, that seems to be the case.
After the crushing realization of his stats, the old man decides to take Tanaka under his wing. He'll help him with his preparations, he says, taking responsibility since it's his country at fault. Tanaka can only let out a pathetic ugh, while the old man tells him to stop crying. Time for a geography lesson. General White breaks down the world map. Tanaka learns he's in the Purine Kingdom, which is sandwiched between the Gakri Commonwealth, currently in a civil war, and the Hal Empire, which beat Purine in a war 20 years ago. Next up, biology. The general teaches him about the demons of this world. We see sketches of terrifying winged beasts, horned rabbits, and massive salamanders that Tanaka will definitely want to avoid. It's not all monsters, though. Tanaka gets the lowdown on the basics of this world's livelihood, including the local currency marked with mystical star symbols. The general covers plenty of other ground too, showing him the different races like elves and the typical architecture of the towns he'll be visiting. General White doesn't send him out empty-handed. He hooks him up with a full adventurer and living necessity set, including a cloak, a bag of supplies, and a trusty dagger. He hands over a bag of coins with the final warning, for your traveling expenses, use them carefully. The general gives him a final piece of advice. I recommend going to the Hal Empire to the east. It's his best shot at survival outside the Purine Kingdom. Tanaka is visibly moved, a small tear in his eye as he looks at his new gear. Thank you, Gramps, he says with a grin. I hope I can repay you someday for this. The general laughs off the sentiment, calling him impertinent. Come back when you've grown a little stronger, he challenges. We'll drink something nice at that time, and it'll be your treat, of course. Tanaka fires back that he'll bring enough for the old man to drown in. As the sun sets over the mountains, the two share a final firm handshake. Tanaka stands tall with his pack, ready to leave behind the hero title and start his journey as a survivor. The general looks on with a rare, softened expression, offering a final, genuine piece of advice. Stay safe. It's a heavy moment of parting between the mentor and the reluctant hero. Tanaka doesn't let the mood stay heavy for long. He flashes a huge, determined grin, shouting back over his shoulder, "Yeah, you too, Gramps." He's officially leaving the nest. Under a vast, starlit sky, Tanaka stares up at the moon, lost in thought. That promise he made with the general, it's become his emotional anchor in this terrifying new world. Flash forward to a campfire in the wilderness. Tanaka is sitting with a new group near a merchant wagon, thinking to himself, I'm doing my best as an adventurer. He's trying to blend in, but he's clearly the odd one out. A man with a kind smile approaches him, asking if he's feeling homesick and wondering if he's doing okay. It seems like Tanaka finally found a friendly face on the road. The man introduces himself, Trader Echigoya. He's the VIP who put out the guard request at the guild. He notes that missing your family while traveling is only natural. Tanaka forces an awkward laugh. Deep down, he's struggling. He couldn't refuse the request of such an important client, mostly because he couldn't go against his corporate slave mentality. Old habits die hard. Echigoya is the total package, rich, a smooth talker, and incredibly handsome. He's basically the main character Tanaka wishes he was. But let's be real, at first, Tanaka was totally dejected about taking on this mission. His face says it all. He'd rather be anywhere else but in the line of fire. Echigoya drops the hammer on Tanaka's pride. Oh, so you're an E-rank adventurer, the lowest of the low. Tanaka's journey just went from hero to intern real quick.
Tanaka is putting on a masterclass in faking it. He laughs loudly, admitting it's his first escort mission and that he's so nervous he wants to run away. He even jokes that maybe returning to the countryside to be a farmer wouldn't be so bad after all. It's working. Over the past few days of travel, he's completely opened up his heart to the group, or at least that's what he wants them to think. The conversation continues as Tanaka boasts about being good at running away and having just enough magic for daily life. The trader laughs along, telling him that while that sounds useful, he better not actually run away. But as Tanaka laughs, his internal monologue is brutal. He knows exactly where he stands in their eyes, an E-rank meat shield. The camera pans to the merchant, Echigoya. The friendly mask slips for a split second, revealing a sharp, calculating gaze. Echigoya's true thoughts are chilling. To him, the D-rank adventurers and Tanaka are nothing but tools to buy him time in an emergency. This is the cold reality of the trade. Echigoya is an up-and-coming merchant, and under that polite smile, he's constantly making cold calculations. That's just how merchants in this world tend to act. Back in the real world, the group is all smiles. Echigoya announces they'll arrive at their destination soon, feeling relieved they made it without a hitch. Tanaka just laughs, saying it's still too soon to feel relaxed. They pull the wagon over for a break. Tanaka suggests they take the chance to have a meal, quoting the old classic, "An army marches on its stomach." The rest of the group just stares at him in blank silence. To break the awkward tension, a sweating Tanaka offers to go gather some firewood for the kettle while still forcing a laugh. Tanaka realizes he messed up big time. He was careless, thinking he could actually finish this mission without a single incident. He even mutters to himself about saying something a normal otherworldler wouldn't understand. He tries to steel his nerves, telling himself to keep his guard up, but the mission was always clear: be on guard against bandits. And guess what? They're already here. Rustle. Out of the bushes steps a group of smirking thugs. It's just one idiot guy who wandered off the main road. Their leader mocks, ready to take everything Tanaka has. Tanaka's face goes from shock to pure terror in 0.5 seconds. Suddenly, Tanaka flips the script. He strikes a cool guy pose and shouts, "Do not underestimate me. I already knew you were hiding and waiting." He claims he came alone just to lure them out and protect the wagon. Is it a bluff? Probably. The bandits don't look impressed. One of them just deadpans, "No, we just arrived," completely ruining Tanaka's big hero moment. There's a long, awkward silence as Tanaka's finger stays pointed in the wrong direction. He slowly realizes his mistake and mutters, "So the wagon is in the other direction." The bandits decide they're done playing. "Let's go," the leader says, ignoring Tanaka's desperate screams. Tanaka panics, shouting for them to stop because his boss, Echigoya-san, is gonna be furious. Desperation takes over. Tanaka triggers a massive, swirling magical circle. "I told you to wait," he roars as a huge blast of energy erupts from his hands, blowing the bandits away. Wait, did that actually work? Tanaka stands there with a blank derp face, looking just as confused as we are. "Huh?" is all he can manage to say. The realization hits him like a freight train. His eyes go wide and he screams in horror, "No, I shot it at a person!" Looks like our pacifist hero just accidentally committed his first magical felony. Back at the wagon, the rest of the crew is getting restless. One of the guards looks out into the distance, grumbling that guy, meaning Tanaka, is late. They shout over to the boss, asking, "Can you see anything from there, Echigoya-san?" Echigoya is perched up high, looking through a pair of binoculars. He hums to himself as he spots a lone figure in the distance. "He's running towards this place," he confirms, his voice calm and steady. But wait, check out that smirk. Echigoya's friendly mask is completely gone, replaced by a sinister, toothy grin. He's thinking to himself, did Echigoya really not see anything? He knows exactly what just happened out there. He's practically vibrating with dark excitement, wondering what's gonna happen to Tanaka, and knowing Tanaka won't be laughing like this if he knew the truth. And now for the moment you've all been waiting for, the big reveal. Tanaka's status window just updated, and those garbled characters from before have finally stabilized into actual numbers. Are you ready for this? Tanaka is level 16, but his stats are literally broken. We're talking scientific notation levels of power. His strength, 1.61 times 10 to the 12th. His endurance, over 3.22 times 10 to the 12th. Even his spirit is sitting at 1.71 times 10 to the 12th. This isn't baby level, this is God tier. He's even picked up some skills: sword at 2.02, magic at 1.04, and a very mysterious one called Receiver of Faith at 1.13.
Down in the corner, we see the aftermath of his accident. A group of people are knocked out on the ground with question marks over their heads. Tanaka is on all fours, sweating and panicking because he still thinks he's a weakling. Despite being a literal walking nuke, his official status still reads Guild Rank E. Talk about the ultimate underdog story, except the dog can accidentally delete a mountain range.
We open on a world of variety. Cyclops, pointed ears, and three-eyed beings. In this town, human is just one of many labels. The streets are packed with demi-humans. Tanaka's client explains that the town is crawling with them, and for some, they're just part of the scenery. Tanaka's confused, asking if they're related to monsters. The client laughs it off. Demi-humans are intelligent and friendly, even if history says they used to be at each other's throats. The client drops a history lesson. There was a war, but now the country accepts them as immigrants. Tanaka's impressed, thinking he's found a literal utopia. But then the mask slips. The official stance is kindness, but the reality, they're just used as cheap, convenient labor. Tanaka realizes the real world sucks no matter what dimension you're in. The job wraps up. Tanaka-san successfully completed the escort mission, and the client prepares to part ways. The client flashes a smooth smile, hoping for a long-term partnership. Tanaka's just happy to be thanked, unaware of the lonely road ahead. Snap. Just like that, reality hits. The moment the job ends, his very first party is officially disbanded. Welcome to the solo life, kid. The title drops, Tanaka's Isekai Rise. He's standing there waving goodbye with a dismaying look on his face. So lonely, he mutters. The grind starts now. Cut to the adventurous pub. Tanaka is face down on the bar, drowning his sorrows. The bartender's telling him he's had too many, but Tanaka just wants another one, master. Tanaka's feeling the sting of isolation. Traveling with that Chigoya was actually fun, but now he's back to keeping a low profile. Why? Because Gramps warned him that if anyone from the Purine Kingdom finds him, it's game over. Desperate for a friend, Tanaka tells the bartender he just wants a companion, someone cheerful and chatty. The bartender isn't playing therapist. He points to the crowd and tells Tanaka to just go talk to one of the many adventurers right there. The social anxiety kicks in hard. Tanaka stammers that everyone looks way stronger than him, and as a lowly E-ranker, he'd just be a bother. The bartender doesn't sugarcoat it. It seems like everyone is strong except for you. Ouch! Suddenly, the tavern talk shifts to high stakes. A dragon has appeared north of here, in a hot spring village. Tanaka's eyes nearly pop out of his head. A real dragon? The hype is real. Famous adventurers are already gathering, hoping to slay the beast and secure their names in history. The bartender mentions a legendary figure, Curry Bread. Tanaka literally spits out his drink in shock. A name that ridiculous actually carries weight in this world? Apparently so. The bartender explains that Curry Bread is a legendary swordsman known throughout the empire. He even took his name from his blessed technique. Tanaka can only wonder just how sinful this master swordsman really is. The atmosphere shifts as a powerful-looking woman leans over the bar, asking for one of the boss's recommended strong drinks. Tanaka's busy sweating bullets next to her. Blushed and completely caught off guard, Tanaka manages to squeeze out a question. Are you with the guild too? The mysterious adventurer smiles as she rests her chin on her hand, introducing herself. I'm Hamura. Tanaka puts on his best serious face, introducing himself in return. Internally, his brain is misfiring. Could this be it? Could this finally be the moment? Hamura mentions she's looking to take a job that requires more helping hands. Tanaka's inner hype man is screaming, it's here! This is his big chance to finally get a companion. The mood does a complete 180 when Hamura asks, how does dragon slaying sound? Tanaka's chatty and cheerful fantasy crumbles instantly. His soul practically leaves his body as he responds with a flat, yeah, no way. He immediately regrets his honesty. Crap, I blurted out my real feelings. He panics while Hamura just stares at her drink. Desperate to save face, he starts making excuses. I'm feeling a bit sick and I think I'm hurting somewhere. Hamura isn't buying it, but she plays along with a smirk. That's a shame. I'll let you have the glory this time around. As she starts to walk away, Tanaka is left standing there like a complete idiot, stammering out, while his golden opportunity vanishes. In a final, desperate attempt to look cool, he points a finger and shouts after her, "Be careful out there. Dragons are quite strong." Without even turning around, Homura just waves a hand. "I'll keep that in mind, thanks." And just like that, Tanaka is solo once again. The bartender leans over the counter, cleaning a glass with a judging look. "I thought you said you wanted companions," he reminds Tanaka. Tanaka just sits there, looking absolutely defeated. He takes a long, regretful sip from his wooden mug. "It's envious of those youngsters who aren't afraid of things," he admits, his eyes closed in self-reflection. The bartender doesn't let him off easy, asking point blank, "Are you scared of the dragon?" Tanaka doesn't even lift his head from the bar as he mumbles a pathetic yes. The interrogation continues. "You haven't even seen a dragon, have you?" Tanaka's response is a simple, soul-crushing nope, as he orders another glass of milk. The scene shifts to the next day. The sun is up over the town's tiled roofs, and the atmosphere is electric. The town is alive with cheers as the dragon slayers prepare to head out. "Give it hell, and don't you dare let it come to this town," the citizens shout, putting all their hopes on the armored warriors. Watching from the sidelines, Tanaka sees the heroes surrounded by supporters. He can't help but think how nice it must be to have companions, but the thought of that dragon still has him shaking in his boots. Instead of chasing dragons, Tanaka decides to play it safe. He heads out to a cliffside, resolving to steadily hunt local monsters and practice the new magic he bought. System alert! Tanaka bought a new grimoire. He's officially reached level 9 as he studies the ancient text. With a small, determined smile and a confident humph, he tells himself that if he gets stronger little by little, one day he'll finally be ready for those companions.
He's lost in a total delusion, imagining himself as a sparkling prince holding a beautiful elf. He's literally glowing in his own head while a massive "Kya" rings out in the background. Tanaka's peaceful training is shattered. He lets out a panic, "No way!" as a skeleton suddenly lunges toward him, screaming, "Someone save me!" The chaos escalates as a feathered harpy dives in with a sword shouting, "Kya!" The terrified skeleton hides behind Tanaka, pleading, "Pretty help me." Our hero can only think one thing, "Goodbye, my excitement." The skeleton won't let go, begging, "I beseech thee, help me." Tanaka snaps back, "Damn you, don't use me as a shield." The skeleton claims he'll always be a skeleton because of this behavior, but the monster retorts, "I was just burned." Tanaka's brain breaks. "What, a baby you?" The harpy isn't slowing down. She charges with a fierce look, forcing Tanaka to try and play peacemaker. He sweats as he shouts, "Miss, calm down. I understand, I really do." Attempting to de-escalate, he yells out, "This uncle understands. The ones at fault are the adults," while the harpy continues her relentless aerial assault. The skeleton is literally glued to him now. Tanaka's patience is gone as he barks, "Stop clinging to my back," while trying to dodge the incoming danger. The harpy is livid, screaming, "Just what did you do to her?" Tanaka is caught in the crossfire, sweating bullets as he realizes the misunderstanding is reaching a boiling point. The skeleton starts crying hollow tears, insisting, "I haven't done anything. I was in a daze after being burned, and the lady just did attack me." The harpy's rage peaks. She's got murder in her eyes. Tanaka panics, screaming at the skeleton, "I don't get it, but apologize." But it's too late. She got angrier. The harpy dives in for the kill, letting out a sharp eep as she narrowly misses her mark. Tanaka is sweating bullets, barely keeping his head as the air around him practically vibrates with tension. Chaos ensues. Tanaka screams at the top of his lungs, "Miss, we can talk this out," and "Hey, hear me out," while trying to dodge her relentless aerial assault. The intensity peaks. Tanaka's eyes widen in realization as he senses a shift in the air. Something big is about to happen. He grit his teeth, sweat pouring down his face. "Damn," he mutters. Tears of frustration welled up in his eyes as he realizes words alone won't stop this bird woman's rage. Enough is enough. Tanaka unleashes his magic, shouting, "Stop it! Cool your head off, water!" as a massive torrent of water erupts to douse the harpy's anger. With a magic circle glowing behind him, Tanaka points a finger and exerts his authority. He's not playing around anymore. He's taking control of the situation while a skeleton hides behind him.
Tanaka goes on a full-blown rant. "I'm working as hard as I can," he yells, lecturing the now absent Harpy about the burdens of responsibility. The skeleton tries to calm him down, noting the lady's already gone. The skeleton is left in awe of Tanaka's power. "Is that so-called Balo craft? That surprised me," it remarks, hands raised in a gesture of genuine shock. Tanaka lets out a long sigh, dejected. "The one screaming wasn't a beauty, but a weirdo," he laments. The skeleton takes offense, firing back with, "How terrible of you to call me a weirdo." Clearing its throat with an "Ahem," the monster tries to reclaim some dignity. "I was just burned. I'm just a skeleton without a name," it explains, looking surprisingly sophisticated for a pile of bones.
Tanaka leans in, a playful look on his face. "Can I call you Skei-san?" he asks. The skeleton doesn't skip a beat, replying, "That's a fine name." As they walk, Tanaka introduces himself as a registered adventurer at the guild who earns his living hunting monsters. Skei-san is genuinely impressed, exclaiming, "No wonder thou art so strong." Skei-san gets philosophical, pointing out that even in this world, money is required to earn thy living, correct? The skeleton drops a harsh truth. "Since I'm a skeleton, I'm forced to work since birth." Tanaka can only sweat and think, every world has its own problems. Suddenly, Tanaka has an epiphany. "Ah!" he shouts, slamming his hands together as a brilliant or desperate idea strikes him. He drops down to Skei-san's level, looking him right in the eye sockets. "Skei-san, won't you become my companion?" Skei-san is completely caught off guard. He tilts his head back, questioning, "Thy companion?" Tanaka goes full salesman. He promises to buy Skei-san equipment and give him money, shouting, "Because I really want the strongest of the companions." Skei-san is a bit skeptical. "Are thee declaring I'm weak?" he asks, noting he's barely stronger than a baby. But Tanaka is all about that potential, insisting Skei-san will become strong in no time. Skei-san ponders his future. He wonders what Tanaka plans to do once he has even stronger companions, but for now, he's just a newborn who can't go doing wrong upon others. Tanaka gazes off with a look of pure, unadulterated awe. "I see it's because God does exist in this world," he whispers. He's officially convinced that finding a companion this easily is a literal miracle. Tanaka analyzes his new recruit. He realizes that even though Skei-san was just born, he's already been given something similar to moral values. Skei-san just scratches his head, thinking, "Thee do not seem like a bad person." The mood shifts. The screen goes dark with high tension lines as Tanaka prepares to reveal his true motivation. "Let me tell you what my goal is," he declares. With lightning literally crackling in his eyes and a face half shadowed like a final boss, he drops the bombshell. Self-protection. He goes into a full-blown, unhinged rant. "I'm prepared to make the whole world my enemy if it means I can protect myself. I'm tired of being afraid." His logic? "If I'm able to get the strongest team ever, I won't have to be scared anymore because I don't want to die." The intensity lingers over the landscape as the wind blows through the trees. The atmosphere is heavy with his desperate vow. Then the cool factor evaporates instantly. Tanaka turns red, fidgeting with his fingers like a shy schoolboy. "Also, I'm a bit lonely." Skei-san stares back, completely convinced by this sudden emotional 180. He simply replies, "I understand." The skeleton flashes a smile, or as close as a skull can get. "Thou art mine own savior," he vows. "I'll become thy shield and sword." And just like that, history is made. The narrator screams it from the rooftops. This was the birth of the strongest team ever. We see Tanaka and Skei-san running off into the sunset, laughing like idiots. The catch? It currently has 2 members. The screen flashes with a status window, finally revealing the raw numbers behind Tanaka's new partner. But don't hold your breath for hero-level stats. The system literally shouts, "He was just born." The stats for Skei are about as base level as it gets. Level 1, HP and MP of fragile 14/14 across the board. Skills, none. Equipment and money, absolutely 0. His physical attributes aren't much better.
with strength at 6, dexterity at 8, and spirit at 7. Tanaka's strongest teen dream is currently riding on a level 1 skeleton with no gear and no skills. Talk about starting from the bottom.
At the equipment shop, Tanaka is hype, clapping for his skeleton companion who's rocking a brand new hood. Tanaka's obsessed with the aesthetic, insisting that looks are everything, while the Reaper just wonders if that's actually true. Since the Reaper was literally just born, he's down for whatever weapon, but Tanaka has a vision. He holds up a massive scythe, declaring it's the only choice for a soul collector. But Tanaka isn't just dressing up his summon, he needs an upgrade too. He strokes his chin, browsing the racks for something that screams, cool. Suddenly, something catches his eye. His pupils dilate. He's found it. The reveal. Tanaka spots a flashy, high-collared white cloak that looks like it belongs on a superstar. He's completely sold, eyes sparkling as the "A Star is Born" vibe takes over. The Reaper is totally lost by Tanaka's fashion sense, but Tanaka doesn't care. He points straight at the cloak, demanding, "This one, please." Time for a field test. The Reaper swings his massive scythe with a heavy slash, but he's holding back, striking with the blunt back of the blade. Tanaka, now rocking his cool cloak, isn't impressed. He takes down a monster with a tiny knife, shouting that the Reaper needs to actually finish them off. The Reaper cheers him on, calling him Tanaka Dono, but Tanaka's busy playing it cool. He strikes a pose claiming he only used the back of his blade too, even though that definitely wasn't the case. The Reaper is curious about Tanaka's cool catchphrases, so Tanaka explains it's a word of gratitude toward your prey. The Reaper is weirdly obedient for a newborn, taking the lesson to heart immediately. Since the Reaper is a total blank slate, Tanaka takes it upon himself to teach him everything. Unfortunately, that includes all the wrong things he knows. It's the official start of their chaotic training. Tanaka gets hyped, flashing a confident grin. He tells the Reaper to brace himself because he's about to unleash his forbidden spell, Stone Ball. Sparks fly as rocks pelt the monsters with a do-do-do sound. But let's be real, this isn't a forbidden spell at all. It's just 9th rank magic meant to cause a little pain and stop the enemy from moving. However, the ground starts to rumble with a massive go-go-go sound. Even the monsters are looking up with question marks over their heads, sensing something is very wrong. Crash! A mountain-sized boulder slams into the earth with a deafening boko. Tanaka and the Reaper can only stare in pure shock as their target is completely obliterated by the overkill. The dust settles to reveal a massive crater where the monsters used to be. From a distance, the two small figures look like tiny dots next to the absolute destruction Tanaka just caused. Tanaka stands there, sweating and blushing hard from embarrassment. The narrator doesn't hold back. His magic control is just as sloppy as it's always been. The vibe is awkward. Tanaka looks away, muttering that they should just pretend they didn't see a thing. The Reaper, loyal as ever, replies, "Understood."
This scene shifts to a moment of quiet as Tanaka uses recovery magic. A soft poo glow emanates from his hands as he gently heals the Reaper's skeletal arm. As they sit among the dead trees, Tanaka is surprised that recovery magic even works on a skeleton. The Reaper drops a truth bomb. It works because they aren't actually undead. Back at camp, the Reaper is buried in a book, discovering that they aren't actually undead, but magical creatures made of bones. Tanaka has just relieved his investment in that illustrated study book actually paid off. But Tanaka has more than just anatomy on his mind. He suddenly perks up, asking if the book has any intel on dragons. The Reaper confirms there is, noting that a group just formed the other day specifically to slay one. Tanaka looks out over the horizon, sensing a storm brewing. The Reaper warns that dragons are incredibly powerful and that the dragon-slaying party seems strong too. They're likely locked in a life-or-death struggle at this very moment. Cut to the battlefield. A massive dragon roars as a hero screams out his ultimate move, Ice Storm. Shards of ice pelt the beast with a rhythmic do-do-do as the scale of the fight reaches a boiling point. The mages are pouring everything they have into their defense, eyes wide with desperation as they channel a massive magic circle to hold back the beast's counterattack. The front line is holding. A heavily armored knight yells out to his comrade, "Now, curry bread!" The fighter's ready, shouting back a determined "yeah" as they prep their finisher. Bam! A devastating blow connects with a massive Dokkan sound, shattering the dragon's armor and sending scales flying in every direction. They actually did it. Or did they? The victory is short-lived. A low zoo sound vibrates through the air as the dragon begins transforming. The beast's eyes glow with a terrifying new light. The party can only watch in absolute horror. The fighter gasps. It's color changed, is it? The real fight is only just beginning, and the stakes just hit the ceiling. The transformation is complete. With a guttural zoo-zoo, the dragon's body undergoes a terrifying metamorphosis, emitting a dark, suffocating pressure. The party is losing their minds. What? They scream as the dragon lets out a deafening roar. Its body is turned completely black, and the heroes realize with dread that there was something fundamentally odd about this beast from the start. Despite the fear, the leader's voice cuts through the chaos. Don't stop. They have to keep up the pressure, but the dragon's massive claw is already swinging towards them. It's no use. A knight's armor is battered and blood-stained as he realizes the horrifying truth. The dragon's hide has hardened to a level that's completely different from before. The dragon looms like a mountain of shadow, letting out a roar that shakes the very earth. One lone warrior is caught right in the monster's sights as the ground beneath them begins to crack. The mage's face is a mask of pure terror, her eyes wide as she screams out for her comrade, "Curry bread!" Curry bread is pinned, his helmet shattered, and with a sickening crack, the weight of the beast begins to crush the life out of him. With his final breath, blood dripping down his face, the hero looks back and delivers one last desperate command. Run!
Gusha! The sound of something being crushed echoes through the battlefield. All that's left is the warrior's legs dangling lifeless as the dragon's power absolute. The rest of the party is paralyzed, their faces drained of color as they witness the brutal end of their friend. This isn't a hunt anymore, it's a massacre. The battlefield is in shambles. Debris flies everywhere as a desperate voice screams out the only command left, retreat! In the chaos, someone can only wonder, how could this happen? The dragon isn't letting them go that easily. With a terrifying whoosh, its massive black wings create a shockwave that sends the mages reeling. They try to keep up the pressure with rapid-fire magic, but the monster's presence is overwhelming. Pow, pow! Energy beams strike the beast's hardened hide, but they just shatter on impact with a series of useless sparks. The dragon is an absolute fortress now, and the party's attacks are doing nothing but making it angrier. One of the survivors, face covered in sweat and grime, desperately channels a defensive spell. He's at his limit, screaming for everyone else to run as he tries to buy even a second of time. The female mage whips her head around with a sudden turn, her eyes wide with shock. She's injured, blood staining her shoulder as she realizes they've been completely cut off. Dash! She tries to scramble away, her boots kicking up dust in the barren wasteland. But the dread is sinking in. She knows that at this rate, we'll be annihilated. The terror in her voice is absolute as the party faces their final moments. Boom! A massive explosion of light and force erupts on the battlefield. The mage is thrown back, falling to the ground in disbelief as a thud echoes through the clearing. Huh? She sits in the dirt, completely dazed, as something falls from the sky with a bata and a bateau. Small charred shapes are raining down around her, and she has no idea what's happening. Holding one of the fallen objects, she looks totally confused. It looks like a cooked limb. She can only ask herself, where did these fire lizards come from? It seems Tanaka's overkill magic from earlier might have just rained literal snacks onto the battlefield. Back at their campsite, Tanaka checks in with his skeleton buddy Scanlations. Scanlations' attack power is risen, and Tanaka feels himself getting stronger, but he's baffled by his receiver of faith stat that just keeps increasing. Suddenly, a system notification pops up, and Tanaka loses his mind. Along with his receiver of faith at 1.44, he sees a brand new title, Dragon Slayer .51. His eyes turn into literal stars as he screams, "Cool!" This isn't just a flashy title, it's a massive buff. According to the system, it's proof of defeating the dragon and obtaining his power, which raises all stats, and hunting more dragons will only make those gains bigger. Tanaka is hyped, calling it so convenient. But then, the gears in his head start turning. He pauses, looking confused as he mutters, "But I don't remember defeating any dragons though." Scanlations just raises a bony finger with an "ah" as the realization hits.
They look at a derpy-looking fire lizard nearby. Scanlations suggests that maybe these things were dragons all along, and Tanaka was the one giving them the finishing blows. Tanaka's totally sold on the idea, shouting that it makes sense despite their goofy appearance. Tanaka enters full boast mode, striking a dramatic pose as he realizes he's found a cheat code. He declares that if he just keeps killing these lizards, he'll max out the Dragon Slayer skill, and finally, the world will open up to him. The madness begins. An overly excited Tanaka spends a literal whole week hunting fire lizards, laughing maniacally about his hidden power finally awakening, while Scanlations just follows along. Cut to a dim bar where a hand slams down on the counter. A desperate voice calls out, "Another one!" It's Tanaka, and he's a total mess. He's slumped over his drink with tears in his eyes while the bartender bluntly tells him, "You're drinking too much." The week of grinding was a total bust. Tanaka sobs to Scanlations about how naive he was to think he could power up on lizards. The Dragon Slayer skill didn't increase in the slightest, leaving him crushed and crying that the world is never kind to him. Tanaka is in the depths of despair, crying out, "I want the world to be generous to me, master!" But Scanlations isn't having any of it, bluntly roasting his drinking habits by telling him they aren't a malt worm, but a milk worm. The irony is insane. While Tanaka wallows in self-pity, his status window shows he's level 21, with stats reaching into the trillions, specifically 1.89 E12 strength. He's still a rank E in the guild, but as the narrator points out, Tanaka is yet to realize it was his magic that instantly killed the dragon. Back at the bar, Tanaka is still moping, wondering what happened to the elite subjugation team. Scanlations doesn't know their fate, but he does know one thing for sure. After all that drinking, Tanaka is definitely gonna have diarrhea tomorrow. The scene shifts to a high-ranking official, sweating as he reviews the subjugation report. The background is filled with a dark, ominous aura, reflecting the gravity of the situation. The official, Ichigoya-san, lets out a heavy, weary sigh as he rubs his temples. Even from his fancy desk, it's clear the news from the front lines is a total nightmare. An assistant timidly approaches, peeking through the door and whispering, Ichigoya, sir." The tension in the room is thick to cut with a sword. Ichigoya is stumped. He stresses that there are two problems regarding the dragon. First, he's never heard of a dragon turning pitch black and becoming stronger like this. It's an anomaly that defies all known logic. He stares at the silhouette of the beast, wondering if this unique type is just a one-time freak occurrence, or if they have to worry about more of these monsters appearing again. Ichigoya tries to be rational. He thinks that if this is just a naturally occurring phenomenon, they can analyze it and eventually prepare to keep damage to a minimum. But then comes the real kicker. He stops, his face darkening as he considers the second, more terrifying problem. He fears that this dragon transformation was actually artificially created. The official is deep in thought, hands clasped as he speculates that this entire incident was provoked by someone. He's worried that if this keeps occurring, it's going to become a serious threat to the world. He slams a document onto the desk, ordering his subordinate to add his findings to the report and notify everyone else immediately. The assistant is all over it, responding with a sharp, "At once." The scene shifts to a close-up as the official picks up his quill. You can feel the tension as he begins to write, the weight of the discovery hanging heavy in the air. Scratch, scratch goes the quill. Every stroke is a piece of a puzzle that's leading toward a terrifying conclusion. The official breaks his sweat, staring at his notes. He's stuck on two major problems, the first being the absolute mystery of why that black dragon suddenly exploded into tiny pieces. He realizes this blackening phenomenon makes dragons stronger and could bring untold destruction. He tries to shake it off, muttering that he might just be overthinking things. He pauses, looking back at the report with a grim realization. That leaves, he starts, as the real problem finally clicks into place. The report mentions a thunderous noise heard moments before the explosion. He's forced to consider the possibility of an external attack. Someone actually blasted that monster from the outside. He leans back in his chair, staring at the ceiling. The real threat isn't the dragon anymore. It's the unknown who can easily defeat a strengthened dragon. That kind of power is a threat all on its own.
And just as things get super serious, we get a mental image of our goofy protagonist laughing it up. The official is stressed to the limit, while Tanaka is just out there being an absolute menace without a single clue. Deep in thought, the official continues his investigation into the mysterious entity that destroyed the dragon. He realizes that the blackened dragon was an unprecedented disaster, but the person who neutralized it is even bigger an enigma. The sound of a heavy mug hitting the bar echoes through the room. Thunk. Someone mutters a quiet, "Thanks," as a mug is set down. An adventurer with vibrant hair and bandages wrapped around her arm beams with a bright smile. "Thank you for everything, boss," she says, her gratitude lighting up the tavern. The bartender looks up, surprised, and asks, "Are you leaving?" He offers a final word of encouragement to the departing adventurer. "Do your best." She looks back with a soft, determined expression. "Yeah, I realize just how weak I really am," she admits, vowing to go back to the basics and train herself. She adds, "I look forward to the day we can walk shoulder to shoulder while doing a job." Tanaka gives a confident, closed-eye grin. He's fully supportive, replying, "Yes, can't wait for the day we can fight together. I'm sure you can become way stronger." With a final wave and her bag in hand, she heads for the door. "Thanks, see you later," leaving the tavern behind for her new journey. The moment she's gone, Tanaka's ego takes over as he poses with his hand on his chin. "She fell for me," he claims, but the bartender's not buying it, deadpanning. "There's no way she knows you're an E-ranker. What gave you that idea?" The little skeleton sidekick chimes in. "Is that love?" Tanaka just shuts him down with a smug look. "That's still too soon for you. Welcome to the world of the adults." Later, the skeleton is seen buried in an ancient-looking book. He looks up with those hollow sockets and drops a total bombshell. "It says here thou art a homosexual and a sodomite."
Welcome to the Adventurers Guild, the heart of every fantasy world. It's crowded, noisy, and exactly where our story begins. Tanaka is feeling the pressure of a growing household. He's out hunting for a reasonable quest because, well, having an extra mouth to feed isn't cheap. He's even worried if Scanlations doing okay back home in his pajamas. But there's a massive problem at the reception desk. The clerk drops the bombshell. You were issued a stop from Ichigo-san. Tanaka's face says it all. This is not good. Can you do something about it? Both Tanaka and his companion look absolutely devastated. It's that awkward moment when your questing career hits a bureaucratic brick wall. The tension breaks into pure embarrassment. Just two guys standing there realize they've been completely shut down. A heavy sigh echoes as they leave the guild. The city streets feel a lot colder when you're officially unemployed. We both were rejected, huh? Tanaka tries to laugh it off, but the pain is real. Yeah, comes the simple, defeated reply. Tanaka isn't taking this sitting down. Tomorrow, I'm gonna complain to Ichigo-san. He's fuming, but he turns to his friend and asks, "So, what did you come here for?" His friend's eyes light up with pure excitement. The answer, "I'm looking for big magic crystals." Now we're talking. Magic crystals? That sounds so cool. Tanaka's eyes are literally sparkling. Forget the rejection. It's time for a new adventure. It's crystallized magic, used mainly for magic tools. The lanky scholar explains that these gems can't be mined and are extremely hard to find. Tanaka tries to wrap his head around it. Something like a battery, I guess? The scholar confirms, gesturing that most found are tiny, barely the size of a fingertip. The conversation shifts back to their failed day at the guild. "I came looking for work, but it seems someone reserved my services," Tanaka sighs. He then asks the scholar, "What about you?" The scholar assumes Tanaka is some high-level pro, but Tanaka just laughs it off. "Not really. I'm only rank E. Finding magic crystals, yeah, that's way out of his league." The realization hits the scholar like a truck. He gets very depressed. "Please don't tease me," he mutters as a gloomy aura surrounds him. Tanaka tries to play it cool. Well, tomorrow's another day. He plans to buy some gear and just lay in bed, hoping a good night's sleep cures the blues. The scholar finally cracks a smile. "Thanks. The tension is finally starting to melt away." Time for names. My name is Tanaka. It's very popular. The lanky guy introduces himself as Omai, a scholar who knows all the best shops in town. Wait, is Tanaka a name of a food in this world?
Tanaka's out here wondering if he's the same as a strawberry while trying to shop for a new grimoire. Omai drops a massive flex. I'm a scholar that studied at the capital. I have grimoires up to the 5th rank. He offers one to Tanaka for free. Are you sure? This might be the luckiest day of Tanaka's life. They no longer have a use to me. They're just gathering dust. Omai is literally giving away high-level loot, and Tanaka is fanboying hard. Please let me call you Omai Sensei.
The mood shifts as Amui explains his real work, agriculture. He's researching tools to improve soil, reminding Tanaka of a time when magic power suddenly disappeared. Even Jody-san was fuming because her tools stopped working. It's a disaster. Many crops need magic in the soil to grow. While magic returned to the air, the soil is still empty. If the magic isn't back by next year, the yields will crash. Tanaka realizes the stakes are insane. There's going to be a shortage of food. That's a huge problem. He looks Amoi dead in the eye. Can you restore it? Amoi explains that naturally it takes 2 or 3 years to recover. That's why he's building tools to speed up the process. He's trying to save the world one field at a time. But there's a catch, a big one. For that, I need a huge magic crystal. The scholar looks defeated as Tanaka finally understands the true goal. So, this is my house. Amoi leads him back to his place, and you can tell something crazy is about to be revealed. Tanaka's jaw hits the floor. Oh, whatever's in his backyard is definitely not what he expected. What is that? Those 3 machines? Tanaka screams as he sees Amoi's secret projects. These aren't just tools, they're massive magic prototypes. Amoi breaks it down. The first one tries to pull magic from the atmosphere, but because the world is still recharging, the output is pathetic. They need a better power source, and fast. This one uses the magic power of a person, Amoi explains the second machine, but the results were just so-so. The efficiency is actually abysmal. The user runs out of mana way too fast, making it a total no-go. Then there's the third one, designed to run on magic crystals, but without a source, it's stuck in the incomplete phase. It's a high-tech paperweight until they find those gems. The mood gets heavy as Amoi looks back. Originally, this was my father's research. His dad worked himself to the bone trying to enrich the soil for everyone, but the weight was too much. He eventually fell to an epidemic. Despite the tragedy, Amoi isn't giving up. He wants to finish what his father started with his own 2 hands. That smile, that's the face of pure determination. I'll do everything I can to help you. Tanaka's literally moved to tears by the story. Amoi tries to apologize for the gloomy story, but Tanaka is 100% committed to the cause. Thank you, Tanaka-san. Amoi invites him inside to finally grab that grimoire. As the door creaks open, you can tell Tanaka isn't ready for what's inside. Whoa! The room is packed with magical artifacts, strange skulls, and ancient relics. Tanaka's eyes are practically popping out of his head. It's a literal gold mine for a magic geek. Amoi apologizes for the clutter, but Tanaka's face is pure bliss. No. All boys love this kind of stuff. Tanaka's eyes are literally sparkling with joy as he gazes at the mountain of magical gadgets. It's not a mess, it's a treasure trove. Everything is so amazing. Tanaka's vibrating with excitement. Amoi can't help but blush, happy to see someone appreciate his collection with eyes filled with sparks. Tanaka starts pointing at everything. What's this? It's a tool to bring water to dry soil. And this? That one's a repellent to keep bugs and monsters away from the crops. Forget combat, Amoi is an S-rank agriculture mage. Tanaka is absolutely floored as he looks around Amoi's workshop. They are all so awesome, he shouts, his eyes practically turning into hearts. This isn't just a room, it's a paradise of magical innovation. Amoi reaches for a massive, intricate mechanical gauntlet. What is this? Tanaka stammers, completely mesmerized by the complex design of the metal arm. It's so cool! Tanaka's heart is literally thumping out of his chest as he gets a closer look. Amoi explains it's a tool he struggled to build, designed to create magic crystals. He offers the ultimate prize. Want to try it out? The moment Tanaka puts it on, the vibe changes completely. With a ta-da and a dark, dramatic shadow over his face, he strikes a pose.
I expected no less from you, Omoi-sensei, a kindred Chunin spirit. Tanaka goes full method actor, gripping his arm as if it's possessed by an ancient demon. Grrr, I'm losing control of my right arm, he roars, his face flushing with the sheer intensity of his roleplay. He leans back, looking like a true anime villain. Cuckoo. With this, I'll be able to destroy the gaps between dimensions. The cringe is real, but the passion is unmatched. He covers his face, gasping as if in physical pain. My sealed hand is so hot. A caption confirms what we're all thinking. He is suffering from a severe case of chunibyo. Omoi watches from the sidelines, looking a bit concerned as Tanaka enters a state of pure bliss. The narrator reminds us of the tragic reality. The 32-year-old Tanaka is enjoying himself. He really is just a big kid. Suddenly, a massive boom rocks the room. The experiment might have been a bit too successful, or Tanaka just pushed the gauntlet to its absolute limit. As the smoke clears, Tanaka is left trembling and charred, letting out a weak ah. Omoi can only stand there with a bandaged hand, let out a nervous ha, and pray the workshop is still standing. After the massive explosion, Tanaka is on his knees, head on the floor in a full-blown apology. I'm so sorry. I was so excited that I broke it, he wails. Omoi just smiles nervously, trying to calm him down. It's fine. It was a failed experiment after all. As Omoi helps a teary-eyed Tanaka up, asking, "Rather, are you okay?" A loud voice suddenly thunders from the doorway. "Hey, Omoi!" A burly man with a mustache and glasses storms in, looking absolutely livid. "You are so noisy. You are interrupting my nap, for crying out loud." Tanaka's jaw hits the floor. Huh? He didn't die from the epidemic? He screams, completely blindsided. Omoi just laughs it off, waving to the man. "Oh, sorry, we woke you up." It turns out Tanaka might have jumped to conclusions during the gloomy story. Omoi looks confused. Did I say he died? You normally recover from those, no? But despite the chaos and the resurrected father, Tanaka finally gets what he came for. Clutching a thick, ancient book with a satisfied smirk, he realizes he got lucky. He got his grimoire for free. He heads back towards his inn in high spirits, but he isn't the only one who had a lucky day. Back in the workshop, Omoi and his very much alive father are staring at the remains of the gauntlet Tanaka broke. Their eyes are bulging out of their heads. "Dad, look! It's the tool that Tanaka-san broke." Nestled in the wreckage is a massive glowing orb. A magic crystal? I've never seen one this big before. Omoi reaches out to touch the pulsating gem. The light is blinding, and the way it shines, "This is great," he whispers. With a crystal of this caliber, their dream is finally within reach. With this, we can restore the soil. The night air is pierced by two voices screaming in pure, unadulterated joy from the workshop. "Omoi! Dad!" Tanaka's chunibyo outburst didn't just break a tool. It created the miracle Omoi's family has been seeking for generations. Mission accomplished. The year is 5963 of the Genesis calendar, and the world is in absolute chaos. A global food crisis has left the lands barren, and the people starving due to pathetic crop yields. But things are about to change in the Haru Empire. Thanks to Omoi's breakthrough, the empire sees a rapid recovery. Lush farmlands are appearing where there was once only dust, and the chaos is finally being halted. They've even started exporting food to other countries, turning the tide of history one harvest at a time. While the world celebrates, the true architect of this miracle remains a mystery. It's said that a young researcher played the vital role from the shadows, but his identity is kept under wraps. Omoi is getting the credit he deserves, even if it's behind a veil of secrecy. And then there's Tanaka, completely oblivious to the fact that he just saved a literal empire. He's back at the inn, sneezing as he reads his new book. But wait, a system message pops up. Tanaka's status, receiver of faith, level up. Without even trying, our guy is becoming a living legend.
The morning sun hits the fantasy world, but for our hero, it's just another day of waking up screaming?
Chapter 6, Training in Myth, kicks off with Tanaka yawning in bed while his skeletal companion Suke watches from the window like a creepy bony alarm clock. Tanaka is not happy. He's shouting at Ekigoya-san, "That's terrible! If you're gonna book me, tell me directly." He's making it clear he's a package deal now, introducing his hooded friend. "Suke here, nice to meet you." The mood shifts as a refined man calmly sips his tea. He's got a sudden request for Tanaka-san. The bombshell? He needs him to handle something quickly. A dragon? Tanaka's face says it all. He did not sign up for this. Tanaka literally leaps out of his seat in a panic. "No way! I'm E-rank. Don't expect too much." The man just laughs it off. "Haha, I'm kidding." Then he leans in with a serious question. "Do you two know about the dragon attack on the hot springs town?" Suke, the font of all knowledge, chimed in. "Yeah, we do." He heard the elite dragon slaying squad barely managed to draw. Yikes. Now the town is rebuilding and the local guild is sending reinforcements to help out. The man with the folded hands has a plan. Since the experts are busy with the dragon, the monsters around town are being neglected. So if you could cover for about 10 days, Tanaka-san, he even offers to pay for all lodging expenses. Talk about a sweet deal. Tanaka stares down at a massive, ancient-looking grimoire. It looks powerful, but our hero is feeling a bit slumped. I wanted to train my magic though, he mutters, looking for a way to level up without the life-threatening danger. Suge drops some harsh logic. He tells Tanaka that training healing magic inside the town is a no-go. Why? Because Tanaka Dano's magic is dangerous unless we go far away. When even a skeleton thinks your magic is scary, you know it's broken. The realization hits Tanaka like a truck. Since his magic is specifically for treating injuries and illnesses, practicing on perfectly healthy people is totally pointless. He looks absolutely defeated by the logic of his own power. Tanaka's inner monologue goes into overdrive. To train, he needs patience, but he screams, "I hate pain and suffering." He refuses to put himself in danger, declaring his life motto, "Knock on the stone bridge and go back safely." Basically, he's the world's most cautious healer. Tanaka's eyes go wide as a light bulb finally flickers in that cautious head of his. He mutters to himself, "If only there were a place full of injured people." Suddenly, he's got it! The memory of the earlier conversation flashes back. Did you hear about the dragon attack on the Hot Springs village? Tanaka realizes the perfect training ground was mentioned right under his nose. Oh right, there is one! Cut to the next day and the duo has wasted no time. Tanaka and Suka-san have arrived at the Hot Springs village, looking like high fantasy travelers on a mission. The stakes are high and the air is heavy with the aftermath of destruction. As they walk through the ruins, Suka-san seems a bit uneasy. Was it really okay to just leave like that? But Tanaka is confident in their cover, replying, "It's fine. They won't notice for a few days. Besides, we're in disguise." Tanaka stops in his tracks. His gaze sharpens as he looks at the devastation around him. But the reality of the situation is starting to sink in as he sees the true cost of the dragon's rampage. The scene is absolutely grim. Tanaka looks around in shock, seeing bloodstains on the stones and people huddled in the wreckage. "Whoa, this place is in terrible shape," he observes, seeing the bandaged survivors struggling to pick up the pieces. But then that trademark Tanaka smirk returns. He sees opportunity in the tragedy, chuckling to himself. "Looks like we can breeze through training here." He spots his first target and calls out, "Hey, old man over there!" Without warning, Tanaka lunges forward with his hand glowing. The old man looks startled as Tanaka shouts, "It may be sudden, but here, a healing magic." He's not wasting a single second getting those XP points. After the treatment, Tanaka plays the part of the mysterious benefactor. He calls over his partner, almost slipping up on the name. "Suka-san, my assistant, give him some food." The old man is moved to tears by the unexpected gift. Tanaka keeps up the act with a sly grin, telling him to take it. "It's a reward for helping with my magic experiments," he thinks to himself. After all, it would feel wrong to have them help him level up his skills for free. Tanaka and Suka-san are going all out. Our hero shouts to his partner, "All right, assistant, there are more injured people over there." It's official, the healing magic training spree has begun.
Tanaka's face is a mask of pure maniacal joy. He lets out a hehehe. My skills are leveling up. He's feeling absolutely unstoppable, declaring that he's not afraid of injuries or illnesses anymore. But wait, Suka-san drops a reality check. But if Eki Goyadano finds out, he'll be mad. Tanaka's instant confidence deflates into a miserable ugh. Realizing they might be overdoing it, the duo tries to play it cool. Tanaka mutters, however, as they decide to be more discreet and avoid talking as much as possible. Suka-san just gives a resigned, understood.
Too late! The rumor of the mysterious healer spreads through the ruins like wildfire. A crowd of grateful villagers gathers around with a mother and child looking up in awe, whispering, "Thank you, mister." Tanaka is sweating bullets under his hood. This is bad. I think we're standing out too much. Meanwhile, Suke-fan is staying in character, handing out supplies with a blunt, "Here's your food reward." Then comes the ultimate weapon. Oh, those pure eyes! A child looks up with literal stars in their eyes, asking the million-dollar question. Who exactly are you two? Where did you come from? Tanaka completely panics, pointing vaguely toward the horizon. From over there. Talk about a world-class cover story. The village elder is absolutely stunned, staring at Tanaka with his mouth hanging open. All he can manage to choke out is a shocked, "Oh my!" The old man's eyes widen as he connects the dots. Lately, I've heard rumors that a god descended on that mountain. He looks Tanaka right in the face and gasps, "Could it be that you are?" The villagers are literally bowing down. As Tanaka stands there sweating bullets, the crowd chants in unison, "A god! A god!" He looks like he wants to melt into the floor. Time for a strategic retreat. Tanaka throws on his best mysterious face and lets out a boisterous, "Ha! Ha ha ha! Our mission is now complete." Suke-san just watches, probably wondering if they can actually pull this off. Farewell! With a dramatic shout, the duo bolts out of the village, leaving the stunned survivors praying to their divine savior. Flashback time to set the scene. At the end of year 5969 of the Creation Era, a dragon's rampage left the Hot Springs village in total ruins. Buildings were leveled, and the casualty list was grim. The guild tried to lead the reconstruction, but they were hopelessly short on manpower. That's when the mysterious figure in the deep hood arrived, turning the tide of despair. The legend grows. Rumors spread that this figure came from the same mountain where a miracle happened before. They healed for free, left food, and vanished as quietly as they came. Back at the office, the refined man sips his tea and asks the question Tanaka was dreading. "Did you hear about it, Tanaka-san? A god appeared and healed the injured one by one." Tanaka's poker face is failing hard. He forces a nervous laugh, sweating as he lies through his teeth. "Oh, really? That's the first I've heard of it. We've just been, hunting monsters all day." Suke-san joins the conversation while Tanaka continues to act natural. Well, as natural as he can. The man notes that while the god was a huge help, the shortage of healers is still delaying reconstruction. The mood suddenly turns chilling. His gaze sharpens as he mutters, "Stories like this tend to get exaggerated and cause unnecessary trouble. It's a bit concerning." Looks like Tanaka's good deed might have some serious consequences. Tanaka is sweating bullets. He lets out a frantic, "Exactly," while trying to play along with the guild's concerns. His poker face is officially broken, but he's determined to stay under the radar. The lies are piling up fast. Tanaka starts rambling like, "Absolutely, I have no idea who it is. It's unforgivable." He keeps insisting he's just a lowly E rank and needs to be super cautious to avoid drawing unnecessary attention. Let's check the stats, and wow, Tanaka's level is only 23, but his numbers are insane. We're talking over 4 trillion magical power. He's got skills like Worshipped One and Dragon Slayer, yet somehow he's still guild rank E. Talk about being a hidden boss. The scene shifts to the beautiful kingdom of Purine. Cobblestone streets and elegant European-style architecture. It looks like a peaceful paradise compared to the ruins we just left. High above the city stands the majestic Purin Castle. Quick TL note, Purin actually means pudding in Japanese, but don't let the sweet name fool you. Big things are happening inside those walls. Enter Princess Lala of the Kingdom of Purin. With a warm smile and a shimmering crown, she welcomes a very important guest. Welcome, Hero Kamui. Meet Kanzaki Kamui, the summoned hero. Only 17 years old and already burdened with the fate of a world. He kneels before the princess with a determined yes. The princess reveals she's heard all about him from General Red. In the massive throne room, Kamui looks small, but his reputation is clearly huge. Princess Lala praises his accomplishments, noting how he wiped out the monster dens around the royal capital. She thanks him for restoring smiles to the people's faces with a radiant expression. It's official. The kingdom acknowledges Kamui's feats and recognizes him as the protector of the kingdom. The young hero is finally beginning to understand his massive role in this world.
Princess Lala takes center stage, holding a massive, ornate shield. She declares it the treasure of her kingdom, bestowed on the hero as a symbol of his duty. The name? The Divine Shield Biscuit. The surrounding knights are losing it. You can hear the collective gasp as they whisper the name in awe. The Divine Shield Biscuit. Clearly, this isn't just a snack-themed accessory. An old man in the crowd adds to the hype. He reveals it's an armor blessed by the supreme god Morinaga. Wait, is the god of this world named after a candy company? This thing is legendary. It's a divine artifact that has reportedly existed since the very beginning of the world. The hype in the room is reaching a breaking point. Hero Kamui takes the shield with both hands, looking dead serious. He states firmly, "I humbly accept the duty as the kingdom's protector." And then Kamui hoists the massive shield biscuit over his head with a roar. He swears upon the divine artifact to vanquish every single threat to the kingdom. But the celebration is short-lived. Princess Lala's expression turns somber as she reminds him that while the capital is safe, people in the frontier are still suffering. The mission is clear. In the name of Princess Lala, Kamui is commanded to head to the frontier and pacify the lands overrun by monsters. Kamui bows his head, accepting the weight of the mission. Now, Hero Kamui, Princess Lala gestures toward a curtained doorway. It's time to meet the new allies who will support him on this dangerous journey. Talk about a powerhouse team. First, we have Sister Kartovich of the Purin Church, one of their most skilled magic users. Joining her is Tetsujin-sama from the Duchy of Banana, a guild-affiliated A-rank adventurer who's come a long way to lend her blade. The new team member leans in with a wink and a playful finger to her lips. "I look forward to working with you, Kamui-sama," she says with a mysterious grin. The second ally is much more reserved, her face partially hidden by a dark scarf. She offers a quiet, "Yes, pleased to meet you." The hero's squad is officially assembled. Princess Lala is in full hype mode now, addressing the cheering crowd. She declares that soon the entire world will know the kingdom of Purin is destined to be the supreme ruler. The knights are absolutely roaring with excitement. But while the kingdom prepares for war and glory, the narrator drops a bombshell. Without Tanaka's knowledge, the world was slowly beginning to change. Cut back to our low-level healer. Tanaka is performing a magic power transfer. Suke-san looks like he's getting hit by a freight train of pure energy, letting out a pained "ugh." Tanaka checks on his skeletal buddy, asking him how he is. Suke-san is slumped over, admitting that the impact was intense. Success! Suke-san realizes his magic power is fully replenished. Tanaka is thrilled, shouting, "All right, success!" Training with 4 trillion MP is definitely different. The duo dives into some new utility spells. They've mastered airflow for heat waves and earthmound for construction and agriculture. It's supposed to be basic magic, but with Tanaka's stats, it's probably broken.
Suke-san is impressed with the new techniques, but Tanaka is having a minor existential crisis. He realizes his magic power doesn't decrease no matter how much he gives away. His reaction? A classic, well, whatever. Tanaka just stands there with a blank expression and a simple, "Oh."
He's officially the world's most casual infinite battery. Tanaka and Suke-san are finally coming up for air. Tanaka wipes sweat from his brow, blinking at the sun, and asks the ultimate, oops, question. How many days has it been? Uh-oh. Tanaka had planned to head back the very same day, but time flies when you're breaking the laws of magic. He realizes Echigoya-san is probably looking for them and decides it's high time to head back. 2 weeks. It's been 2 whole weeks. The narrator notes that Tanaka continued his training with the same casual attitude as someone keeping a rental DVD overdue. By the way, those DVDs he rented? Top secret info. Suddenly, the duo stops dead in their tracks as a strange sound echoes through the canyon. What? Tanaka stares into the distance as a dark cloud rises. It's not a cloud, it's a swarm. A bunch of flying creatures are circling over the town. Tanaka turns to his skeletal buddy asking, Suke-san, what do you think that is? Suke-san's hollow eyes are fixed on the horizon. I have no idea, but it's clear the town is in danger. The peaceful training arc is officially over. The situation is dire. A massive prompt appears. First level alert. Whatever those things are, they aren't friendly. Time for action. Tanaka throws off his casual vibe and strikes a heroic pose. Let's stay alert to the movements in the sky and quietly but swiftly head toward the town. Suke-san is right behind him with a firm, understood. Tanaka's destiny begins to move. He gives the weirdest command ever. Move quieter than a cockroach and faster than one. Suke-san, confused as ever, just asks, what's a cockroach? Let's look at the final stats for the chapter. Tanaka's level 23 with a mental power of 2.18 trillion. Suke-san is level 8. Both are still technically rank E, but they're heading into a town crawling with suspicious shadows.